on to off-grid 5-volt USB. So I put two 5-volt USB fans inside instead of the 120-volt squirrel cage motor, and that way I don't need an inverter and it doesn't burn any electricity whatsoever. I can run that stove 24/7 on one of those lithium power packs overnight, no issues. I'll wake up and it'll be at like 50% discharge on the lithium. Works great. Really good. But the only thing I'd want to improve on it is if I was able to get a 5-volt USB fan that ran a little bit faster, had better blow, but that's pretty hard to do with 5-volt, I'm assuming. And 12-volt, I will, if eventually, when that AGM dies back there, I will replace it with a lithium, one of those, and then I will remove those fans and hook up 12-volt direct to the battery. And I think a 12-volt fan would have decent blow to really let this fireplace rip it out, because even the 120-volt fan that I had working in the propane stove originally, even though it's on 120 volts, the fan speed sucked even on max. So I want a decent movement of air through there, because it'll heat the place up faster, and which in then turn saves money on propane. And then obviously if it's hooked up directly to a 12-volt battery, I don't have to sit there plugging stuff in. It's going to be hooked up. Other than the fact I'll probably got to I'll just throw a switch on to turn it on and off. That way it's not on 24/7. But at night I do leave it on 24/7 because I'm not getting up every cycle to shut the fan on and off. We want automation, guys, or we will have a really bad sleep habit, and that's not good. So I like my sleep when I can get it, believe me. So I think we got it nice and toasty in the tiny house. I got a lot cleaned up, got a lot done, and it's too bad my laptop cannot hook up to this thing. I don't understand it. I'm pretty much giving up on that. I don't need it anyway. All I'm going to do at home, I'm going to take my laptop, like I said, I'm going to print off a nice, maybe laminate it, I don't know, I doubt it. Print off a couple sheets of the settings. And what I would like to do also is the order of the settings. I'll do it on order on the sheet, because when I program on the MPPT, you got to do it backwards. You go all the way to the end of your specs on the MPPT charge controller, and you work your way to the front. Completely goofy, if you ask me. It's backwards. So if I print the sheet out in that order where it starts from backwards to forwards, then I can't get lost. It'll be fast programming. I'm not going to be looking here and there and trying to scratch my head. It's just the way that MPPT charge controller is. Unfortunately, that's all we got, but there you go. So anyway, I think I got a lot done. I'm gonna head back home, check on my dad, see how what's going on there. This was our only day off, and he had to do paperwork all day today. Probably still will be when I get home. He hasn't called, so I know he's not bored. He's busy doing paperwork. It's because we have our HST and year end and all that government crap coming up. We got to get all that filed with our accountant. Same accountant, guys. We still have that storage stuff here many moons ago at the tiny house. Worked out for me because it paid for my rent for like a year, maybe 2 years actually. He had his crap in here quite a while. So a lot of paperwork, man. A lot of paperwork. So I got the stove damped down completely at both sections. Still got lots of heat here. The thermoelectric fan is still plowing away. So yeah, we're doing good. I'll give you a date. November 26th, 2:30 in the afternoon. So that's not bad. Not too shabby at all, I don't think. Now, one thing I gotta I'm an impatient person, if you guys know me in real life. I hate waiting for stuff to charge. Even though, like, say, if that was let's say that was an AGM battery as opposed to a lithium, it would take twice as long to charge, maybe more. Because they can only take so much at a time. But thankfully, the lithium technology charges fast, efficiently, and with the help of the MPPT and onboard BMS, it charges safely in its parameters where I don't have issues, and that's the main goal. So thankfully I got this day off. I'm able to get over here. It's pretty sunny. It's slight overcast out, getting worse it looks like, and we have rain incoming for the next portion of the week here, which is gonna suck. Possibly mix of snow. So like I say, I'm charging that bad boy up. It's coming home, and then we should be golden for the rest of the winter. I have to abandon the tiny house due to work. And the reason I have to do that is because we're so busy. We've been working every day of the week for 2 months straight, I'm gonna say. Yep. We had an occasional day off, like I told you before, my dad's checkup. We couldn't avoid that. We had to take that. And today we had to take it because he had to get it caught up on his paperwork and all that fun stuff. So when I get home, I got to probably help him out with the rest, whatever he's got. But I had to get over here, had to get this done. Got the battery charged up, happy. I was happy that it wasn't super cold in the tiny house, which is great. And yeah, the weather's holding out for us, so that's good. But yeah, sounds like a plan to me. If the snow holds off like it's been doing, then it's going to be an okay winter. Not too bad. But we still got December, January, February to worry about. And those are usually doozies. We've had years where, you know, it started snowing at the end of December just in time for Christmas, and then it would go right into January and February, and eventually everybody had cabin fever at the end of that. Because it's tough if you get a ton of snow. But anyways, I'm gonna get the heck out of here. And glad I got some stuff cleaned out. It looks huge in here now with that table gone. Absolutely, there's tons of walk room. I'm thinking about getting maybe like a mini lazy boy or something. Plop it down there, because you could literally just fall asleep in that next to the heat and watch some TV or something from back there and just kick back. That's pretty sweet. Now, it's not the biggest TV in the world, but that's why I kind of jammed my bed up against that entertainment wall. But that's the way it is. I love that TV because I can run it all night on one battery. That lithium. That's pretty sweet, guys. You can't see that too often on one battery. Gotta love it. So, pretty impressed. Glad I got this day to get everything caught up at the tiny house. No issues, no leaks. Everything was cool in here, you know, relatively nice. Warmed it up, and everything's good. We're still stuck at 70. The wood stove is the only thing in heating mode. Propane's off. And actually, I'll show you. The thermoelectric generator, or the electric USB blanket is on right here. Turn one light on anyway. this is on. And what I did, because we don't have any wind today, I just plugged it in right there. See that white thing there right there with the light on it, the blue light? That's plugged in directly on my solar battery, which is right here. And it says, with all the loads going on, now it won't be on this side because it's directly plugged into the DC-DC converter on the AGM battery. So it says it's almost pulling 1 amp on that little electric thing. These are charging all the other little batteries over here and the light, and I got 1.7 coming in. So we're going to be in a couple hours we will be at a negative for power. What do I mean by that? It gets dark at 4 o'clock in the winter time here, and then you're pooched on solar power. And since there's no wind, no good, guys. That's crap. So I have to unplug this thing, the little electric guy, from this setup, and that's it for today because can't do much. Running out of solar, got no wind, and that battery is not going to be able to keep that thing running for 24 hours, which would be nice because then in the morning it would automatically recharge, keep everything going all day, and it would just be a nice closed loop, which would be nice, but we're not there yet, especially with that size battery. I definitely have to save up and get a lithium for back here. No more AGM lead acids for me after being a lithium convert. And the more people that buy lithiums, the cheaper they'll get, which is kind of the goal. We want to keep everything nice and, you know, doable. So what I'm going to do, pull this. There you go. And I shut off the wind turbine thing. I'll show you quickly. It's sitting at 12 volts, or 12.1. So it must have turned a little bit. So there's no loads on this. That's the turbine battery right here, 44 amp hour. No loads on it. So now I'm keeping it that way for a little bit, because that's just the way it is. And I got to, I got everything plugged in, other than I ran out of ports for some of the stuff. But I think we're good. So brand new, lots of spacious things here. I'm thinking drop a couch here, drop a lazy boy. I'm gonna need one hell of a small lazy boy to get through the door though, I'm thinking. Even though that's a standard size door. I need like a micro lazy boy recliner. That would be sweet. Next to my heat sources, guys. Like maybe one that swivels or something. Put it a couple feet back from there, obviously, maybe here, centered, and then I could definitely still see the TV and just kind of kick back, relax. That should be sweet. Then I got all this cardboard. It's not really safe being close to the stove like that. I don't like that. But at least everything's damped down. No flames are going to be jumping out. This thing, the fire's died down quite a bit. Here, I'll open the door and show you. It'll probably spruce up once I give it some air, though. So it's down to just embers. Nice little... So that'll burn. That burn down very slowly the rest of the day for at least a couple hours, like 3 or 4 hours. It'll burn down to nothing. And then... But that nothing's going to happen where anything's going to light up this cardboard. Everything's damped down, closed, nice and closed and tight. So nothing to worry about. And I normally leave this fan plugged into this battery the entire time. But what you can do to check is you put your hand up here carefully. See how much heat's there? Oh, there's nothing there. So I'm just going to unplug this and put that guy back on charge, only 93%. So the little thermoelectric fan will keep on trucking because it's completely powered by the heat. But as you can see, it's starting to waver too a little bit, and it will slow down once it totally cools off in there. So not too shabby, guys. And my my battery on this camera is pretty much almost dead at 11 minutes left of record time. So we'll see how that works out. You guys hear the train? I'm close to train tracks. Very close. But it's okay because it only happens a couple times a day and then a couple times at night. So it's a lightly used track, I'm assuming. And very quick. They're passenger train train tracks. But other than that, I think I'm out of here. Yeah. So that's about it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.